Imagine yourself in a baseball stadium and you look around and see all different kinds of demographic spectators. You look on the field and you see all different kinds of demographic players. You take in the moment and you experience your moment at the game. You look out in the stadium and see big screen TVs, loudspeakers, and big stadium lights. I'll speak about historical achievements made in baseball, the early origins of baseball, Jackie Robinson and how he helped break the color barrier, and how broadcast radio helped the growth of Major League Baseball. So on this journey, I'll take you back to mid 1800s. Its origins come from the sport's rounders, a sport that is played in England. It consists of a bat and a ball, and it's almost similar to what we call baseball, but different in dimensions and playing style. Many people will argue that Civil War general Abner Doubleday was one who pioneered it, or Henry Chadwick, a sporting journalist promoter of the early game. According to George Kirsch's book, Baseball in Blue and Gray, the National Pastime in the Civil War, published in 2017, quote, neither Abner Doubleday or Alexander Cartwright or any other person created the modern sport. Rather, it evolved in stages from earlier baseball games, end quote. Therefore, it is impossible to determine who really created and perfected the sport. But Abner Doubleday and Henry Chadwick were pioneers of the development of the game. Now that you know a little bit of the origin of the sport, I'll transition to my second important historical achievement, Jackie Robinson, and how he helped improve the development of baseball by breaking the color barrier. Jackie Robinson paved the way for all types of demographics to play in the majors. Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier when he signed with the Dodgers, and he became the first ever black person to play in the majors in 1947. He paved the way for players non-whites to make it possible. Jackie Robinson had to endure criticism from spectators and sports writers. But he kept his cool and just played the game with the heart and passion. The same year, he was named Rookie of the Year. In addition, Jackie is an important historical achievement in baseball because he has contributed to breaking the color barrier. Jackie Robinson made it possible for all demographics to play professional baseball. Now that you know who Jackie Robinson is and how he impacted the game of baseball, I'll transition to the significance of broadcasting and how he has evolved. Now, only a few broadcast baseball games were introduced in the 1920s. The first radio game called was between Pittsburgh Pirates and Philadelphia Phillies. Few other teams broadcast until a few years later. According to Edward White from the book of Creating National Pastime, Baseball Transformed Itself, published in 1996, he quotes, given the impressive synergy between baseball and radio, it is interesting that radio broadcasts of baseball games took comparatively long time, 25 years, to become routine. Nearly daily presence in major league cities, major nationwide radio was established by the early 1920s. The first baseball game was broadcast in 1921, and the World Series games was aired regularly after 1923. But only a few cities, Chicago, Boston, Cleveland, St. Louis, Philadelphia, and Detroit, had stations broadcasting games in the 1920s. And coverage was limited to home games. As late as 1939, none of the New York clubs broadcast any of their games. Live away games were not broadcast until after World War II. Since radio broadcasts of games are like newspapers, coverage in the way amount of free publicity for the clubs. End quote. Therefore, many baseball teams were slow introducing broadcast media. Many baseball teams thought of it as free coverage. Today, all games are broadcast, televised, or online. And the media is one of the main sources of income for major league teams. In conclusion, in this journey, I talk about the early origins of baseball and how Jackie Robinson helped pave the way for other minorities to play the game, and how media broadcasting helped the growth of Major League Baseball. Now, I hope that when you find yourself in a baseball game, you will think of some historical achievements made by Major League Baseball. Thank you.